welcome to today's episode of The Realtor. I'm your host, Anne Odida, and on today's episode, we're talking matters home security. Now, when we think about home security, usually we are picturing a very sturdy perimeter wall, very big gates, and also maybe with CCTV cameras just around the gates or around these perimeter walls. So things are changing and technology is here with us. And there's no doubt that technology is revolutionizing the way we protect our homes, and that is what we're talking about today. So I am joined by someone, a very great expert, if I do say so myself, from the SGA Security. I'll just give you the chance to introduce yourself. Karibu sana to the Realtor. Introduce yourself to viewers, kindly.
Good afternoon, Anne. My name is Jackson Buthia, and I'm the Group Chief Commercial Officer at SGA Security. SGA is the largest security company in East Africa. We provide the full array of security services, the traditional guarding that many people know, a bit more specialized service, which is cash in transit, which is movement of valuables. But relevant to what we're discussing today is the technology side of things that covers the CCTV, access control systems, and home security solutions.
When we talk about traditional home guarding, you're saying we are moving away from that one. So tell us how we are coming right now and embracing technology when it comes to home protection.
Thank you, Anne. And I don't think we'll ever move away from the guard in its entirety. We still need or depend on human beings to actually make decisions on the go. But what we're seeing these days is more of a complement of physical human security and technology. So technology is good for performing mundane tasks, what will otherwise make the physical security, the guard, board, for instance. So technology comes in to plug that gap in, but you still require the human complement to the technology for a more robust and comprehensive security solution.
Usually we are mostly used to fences, gates. Is this changing in any way?
Yes, I think gone are the days of having broken glass shards on wall tops of our fences. The advances we're seeing today, we have, we see that security for our home actually starts from the perimeter, working your way in. So the glass shards have now been replaced with electric fence and razor wire solutions. And then as you now get in towards the home, you have motion sensors, motion sensitive light. And then when you actually now get into the house itself, we have devices that monitor the opening and closing of doors, what we call magnetic contact, motion sensors inside the house, panic buttons, smoke detectors. All this is now a common part of everyday home security.
Now that I know you've mentioned quite a few, but if you could just give us a broader range of these new security systems in this new technology that we are having currently.
So if you look at a home setup, what would be a comprehensive security platform? Maybe we'll start at the gate. So whereas traditionally we had the guard, who's a gate opener or gatekeeper, you can now actually swap that out for automated gate solutions. So as a homeowner, as you approach your gate, you can actually signal through a signal device for the gate to open automatically. That then now brings you into your house or your front door. All this while cameras around your house, your front porch, your perimeter area, your back garden, all that covered by a CCTV system that records pretty much all activity that happens around your house. And then to get into your house, you will be disarming an alarm system that you had armed at the point that you were leaving, so that if there's any intrusion whilst you're away, then that can trigger an event and a response. Once you're inside your house, then should you feel any threat, there will be panic buttons that we can install. We put smoke detectors in the kitchen in the event that something starts to burn. Then that will also create an early warning and let you know that there's something that is out of the norm taking place. So technology is actually now just coming to offer more early warning and detection of potential security threats.
Now that we're here, would you tell us why it's so important to also just integrate the new technology in home security setup?
I think when you look at what previous security setups were made of, you had a guard, or if back then it was a watchman, who operated pretty much independently. Then you had your keys that would be to give you access in and out of your home. If you had a CCTV system, the CCTV system did not interact with any of the other systems, so everything worked independently. What we're seeing now is integration of all these platforms, so that the CCTV works hand in hand with the intrusion detection system. The intrusion detection system, actually, there's a component that is now operated by the guard. So, for instance, whereas the alarm system would have been in your house, and the guard would have no interaction with that alarm system, we now have mobile devices that the security officer at the gate can have, and you'd be used to trigger an alarm event should there be a security threat that he encounters right at the gate, as opposed to the threat coming all the way into the house. So the system now does talk a lot more together. So if, for instance, you have a system on your front door and it is activated, then the camera overlooking the front door would start recording, for instance, or can actually be recording and take a snippet of that clip and send it out to a security control room or somebody else who can then come and offer support.
So why aren't more developers or just current developers also integrating technology and these new security features in residential areas?
I think it's two factors. The first one being that historically, security solutions have actually been very expensive. But as technology has advanced, these solutions have gotten cheaper and cheaper. But what then happens is that people are unaware of these advancements or this reduction in price. And if you look at what is available in terms of a platform today, 10 years back, the cost would probably be tenfold. So it's possible today to go and purchase, for instance, a CCTV camera, a good CCTV camera. I'm not talking about the cheap and cheerful ones that only last, will only serve you for a very short period of time. A quality CCTV camera will probably cost you maybe 20,000 shillings if you're looking at something for just your home. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the same camera with lesser features, if I can put it that way, will probably cost upwards of 60,000, 70,000 shillings. So the advancements in technology have actually made the technology cheaper and more accessible. What is now required is for awareness to be generated so that people know that the systems are available and they are actually affordable as well.
All right, now that we are talking about it being affordable at this time, and you know affordable is relative, and where can I find these CCTV cameras, front door cameras, when I want to incorporate them into my home?
The best approach actually would be to go to a qualified provider. So a security company such as SGA, for instance. So we would initially actually just come in. Security is all about the need, and everybody has different requirements based on where they live and how their typical day or how they live their life. So it's not a one-size-fits-all for everybody. So the first part actually would be to conduct an assessment. So based on that assessment, we then come and we'll ask questions and find out what actually suits your lifestyle, your need, your home setup. Where is your home located relative to your surrounding? Is there a particular threat that we're looking at? Because all these things then come in to determine what equipment is deployed and how best to deploy that equipment. So the straight answer to that is probably reach out to a qualified and professional installer that will then walk that journey with you and give you the best solution for your specific requirements.
All right, so and there are cheaper option for someone who just wants to do it by themselves and not include or involve a professional in these whatever they want to put in their homes.
there's always the cheaper option. The cheaper option is not always the best option. I've always said, I mean, we are specialists in our field, and I've gone to great lengths to acquire the right knowledge, understand the equipment out there, so that we're able to deliver the right solution for your specific needs. You don't self-medicate. When you have something wrong with your body, you go and look for a doctor. So the same way, when you're looking to address a security need, then you come to a specialized security provider. But there are certain elements that you could probably tackle as an individual that don't require necessarily a lot of input from a specialist. So matters around locks for doors. You can actually go and buy a robust lock for your front door or your perimeter doors. Lighting is something that can be easily implemented without the need for a professional coming in to give you advice. Would recommend motion sensor driven lighting, so that you're in a sense not having the lights on throughout the night, but it's an event that triggers the light coming on. And normally even those someone with ill intention, a thief or a burglar, if they're trying to creep in and then suddenly the light comes on, they think, oh, I think my presence here has been noted, and they'll normally just go off, whereas the light coming on was triggered by a motion sensor. So lighting and locks is something that any homeowner can implement without necessarily having to go out and seek the advice of a professional security provider.
So I don't have to break the bank when I want to invest in the new technology when it comes to matters home security, right?
No, you shouldn't have to. And maybe I'll sort of like draw back to SGA and the model that we adopt for providing our services. We believe that security is something that everybody should have, and they should have access to quality and robust security platforms. So we have commercial offerings and terms that are more friendly, that actually do not require the homeowner to actually go into their pocket, and they'll simply just come to us, subscribe with us, and we provide the equipment on a subscription basis. Great,
hold on to that point. Let's take this very short break, but when you come back, you'll tell us more about how you as SGA, you are offering security solutions to a homeowner. Stay tuned.
Now, learn, speak out. Support the movement during this 16 days of activism. Together, we can end gender-based violence.
As we mark 16 days of activism, Cape Media Limited reiterates its commitment to raise awareness and advocacy efforts against gender-based violence. Join us in this movement. Download the base.
Vile unavyojua watoto wengi sana hawana namna. Mimi ningependelea watoto wasome.
I'm here to stress on education. At the same time, let us actually do any kind of sport that we are doing. Sport speaks the best language to everybody.
Tunataka tutafute talents. Zile raw talents kutoka kule nyumbani mashinani mahali tuko leo.
Hizi mbio za Chepsaita, like all other sports, zinaleta watu pamoja We want to use this event to uplift the lives of the community.
Anafurahia hii mchezo sana. Hata sikaange naambianga watu tuende Jabsaita.
Wanafunzi wakimbie ili wakuze talanta ya mbio.
In the house, isn't it so?
It is not as simple as that. It's a specialized field. Hence, my insistence that you should get a professional to come and provide a solution. The way the equipment works is dependent on your surroundings, the lighting in the room, the configuration of the room. So it's important to have a qualified professional actually come in and assess and provide a proper brief on what you need. But yes, you will find that there are those that will go out and buy, I think, nanny cams, for instance, although they have some degree of limited functionality, that are plug and play. You just place it and connect to your Wi-Fi and it's good to go. But it's, I think it's a workaround, but not a robust offering for if you're looking to have something that will serve you for a long time and serve you well in your home.
Now, front cameras are not usually so common in Kenya. Why is this the case? We don't hear about front cameras being talked much about.
I think it's an issue of awareness. Like I said, technology has come a very long way. There was a time that it was a preserve of mostly, for instance, banks, large corporates. People did not think about having CCTV cameras and other security installations in their homes. That was normally limited to just, like you said, a perimeter wall with glass shards on the roof and a Maasai or a guard. So the more people are becoming aware of the solutions that are available out there, the more they're becoming prevalent. And it's the responsibility also of the security providers to actually go in and educate the public on what's available now, because it's also a duty that we have in terms of making our communities safer.
Mm-hmm. So all areas in Kenya, all counties, all regions, mashinani, can each and every person get access to these new features, security systems, ama kuna zile counties ambazo are limited to this new technology?
Actually now, where the internet has taken us, there is no corner of this country that you cannot have access to these solutions. And what technology and the internet actually has done is made remote monitoring and geographical, more expansive systems available for everybody. So for instance, now you could be in Turkana. We can install a CCTV system in Turkana, we can install an alarm system in Turkana, and sitting here in Nairobi, actually be able to monitor the signals from Turkana, purely on the back of a data network. So it could be Safaricom, it could be Airtel, we now have Starlink. So as long as you actually have an active internet connection at the site, it's possible to have off-site monitoring of that system when you're away from the physical location where the system actually been installed.
All right, amazing. Now, for me as a homeowner, maybe I'm at work and I want to monitor my house, my home, is there a way that I can do that?
Absolutely, and that is where technology has actually taken us now. We all now have mobile devices, so the systems that we install in our houses will now come with integration into an internet connection, and then through an app on your phone, you can then have access to either the CCTV footage, live viewing, or you can play back what has been recorded. With the alarm systems also, if there's an activation in your house and you're away from home, then that can also be delivered onto your mobile device. And so it gives you a sense of control of your security solution even when you're away from home.
Mm-hmm. So what happens when maybe an intruder attacks my CCTV first thing when they get into my home? Now, how do I go about with that now? How do I go about it?
So again, with the advancements in technology, before, the CCTV cameras would record only to a local hard drive within the premises. And actually the thieves would not normally attack the camera, they would actually normally go for the recording device. But what we have nowadays is the recordings being done on the cloud. So even when a camera is vandalized or the recording device itself has been taken away, the physical recording device, the footage is still available on cloud for playback.
Mm-hmm. So what is the future of home security in terms of technology?
The future of home security, I think, lends to a lot more technology being used in the home. The process of deploying an effective security solution is one where first we want to deter. So that is where we have the electric fence coming in, the CCTV cameras, and nowadays actually the CCTV cameras that are suited for perimeter security are actually able to detect the difference between a human being, a car, even an animal. So you can configure the system to give you or to analyze the data, what it is looking at, and then prompt the requisite response. So if it's a cat that is walking around in the backyard, it will ignore that. But if it's a human being who jumped over the fence, then that obviously requires or calls for an intervention, and so that could trigger a different response. So the advancements in CCTV, the video analytics as we call it, the ability to analyze something within a field of view and make decisions, then is also something that we're going to see. We've seen a lot of now Internet of Things. So whereas we now have just, or previously we had an alarm system that was a control panel and devices to detect intrusion, you now have additional control in the form of you can control your lighting, you can control other electrical appliances. We now have flood sensors, so if there is water leaking in your house, then that will also trigger an event. So there's a lot more instances or situations that now technology can come in and detect there being an issue and then trigger the human being to respond to that incident.
Mm-hmm. So how is the Kenyan real estate market doing in terms of embracing the new technology?
We have seen a lot more, sort of like will from both developers and homeowners and even tenants to have security. Because at the end of the day, it's what we're concerned for is the well-being of ourselves and our loved ones. And if there's any tool or solution that one can employ to make that a lot easier, we're seeing a lot more desire and intent from homeowners, tenants, developers to actually now have security solutions as part of their everyday services around their house. Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that comes about with trying to engage or incorporate this new technology in home security?
First and foremost, there are very many players, if I can call it that, in the market who purport to understand the security solutions and are very quick to I would say take advantage of the ignorant consumer, and I use that word.
Any fear of contradiction?
Actually, no. I don't want to say that the consumer is ignorant in a bad way, because if most people, how cameras work, how the alarm system works, it's not there an area of knowledge that there is intrinsic to them. So, like I said, it's a specialized field. So anybody who comes and purports to give you what sounds like good advice, there is that inclination to follow what they're saying, even when it may not necessarily be the most sound advice. So in terms of that implementation, what is critical is to find a reputable organization, someone who actually has the right certification. And it's actually incumbent on the consumer to make of this, to ask these questions, certification, training. You're also not looking for someone that's a fly-by-night that will come and install the system for you today and is gone tomorrow. I think similar to the way we have cars and other systems, this equipment also needs to be maintained. So you want to partner with somebody who actually has a framework or a structure to actually provide post-installation support and maintenance, so that even the system that you install is able to serve you for as long a period as possible.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about SGA, of course, as we wind up. What are some of the services that you are offering in depth?
So specific to home security, we did several months, actually more than a year now, unveil what we call the home security solution. And we have different packages: Safe Home, Safe Home Plus. We now have Safe Home Lite, which is a home security package that is on subscription basis. The consumer or the subscriber does not buy the equipment, they do not pay for its installation. So it's a complete service that includes the equipment itself that would install in a house to make up the security system and the ancillary support services. So obviously critical for any alarm system is the response, because otherwise if there's no one coming to your aid when you're in need, what you have is a scarecrow. You're hoping that when you press that panic button or when the motion detector detects that there is an intrusion into your house, you need someone to your aid. Otherwise, even the thieves are very intelligent. They know to just wait until the siren goes off and then they carry on with their nefarious activity. So what we offer is a complete package that includes the equipment, which we'll provide at our cost and install it without any additional cost to the consumer. And then it comes with ancillary services, the alarm response being the critical one. We've also gone beyond that to include other services that we feel are beneficial to our subscribers. So we have medical emergency response. So if you have a medical issue, not a security issue, an ambulance comes instead of a security response vehicle. And then it's also coupled with home contents insurance cover. So in the event that there is a loss, you can make a claim for or get compensated for some of the furniture items, electronics in your house as part of this one fixed monthly fee.
All right, thank you so much for gracing the Realtor. We are so grateful for that expert insights on matters home security, as we also try to embrace the new technology when we want to protect our homes. All right, that's it for this week's episode of The Realtor. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Anne Odida, and see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.